Welcome back, everybody. I'm catching a lot of flack about my 0-2 week last
Can't have
week.
another one of them, Kip. No, not another one.
Clemson's quarterback,
It's
Kelly
the money,
Bryant,
Kip.
quits. And, of course, just in the early part of the second quarter, Lawrence gets hurt. And, that didn't work out very well. But we'll get to picks in a minute.
You'll get 'em.
I'm going to bounce back this week.
I know you will.
There's no fear. Let's talk about the SEC matchups because there's some really good ones. We touched on Kentucky, suddenly the beast of the East. They're 5-0, which who would ever thunk that? They go to Texas A&M now. It's a road game. They've been doing most of their damage at home, although they did break the long Florida jinx in Gainesville. Jimbo Fisher, the A&M program, looks like it might be moving in the right direction. Nick Saban talking about trap games. That might have been one for them last week. I don't think they took Arkansas as seriously at Jerry World as they should have. They were coming off a game with Alabama and now a game that's of great importance with Kentucky. What do you think?
I like Kentucky here. Again, it goes back to, in gambling, you have to believe what you see this time of the year. And what I see with this Kentucky team, Kip, you can't look at the UK on side of that helmet. You have to look at Josh Allen, the best defensive end in the conference, wreaking havoc on quarterbacks game after game after game, a top 10 pick in the NFL pick. It comes down to talent, Kip, and Kentucky all of a sudden has it. And the Jordan kid at linebacker. And when you look at them offensively, this is a huge team up front, and Snell is the best running back outside of Damian Harris in the SEC. This is a good team. I love Kentucky to win straight up, but take the 6 points. I love this game.
Another game that a lot of folks may not have really focused on, but it should be a really important game in the East race. Missouri, who's quietly going along pretty successfully, they go on the road, face the South Carolina Gamecocks. This game is a virtual pick-em. I'm kind of thinking that South Carolina is going to bounce back. A lot of folks might disagree with that.
Well, I mean, sometimes me and you disagree. That's what makes us so great. You know, they say Kip and Legend, you know, they just tell it like it is. Sometimes they don't always agree. I like Missouri in this game. Again, this time of year, you got to believe what your eyes see. And I see that South Carolina is a team on the skids. They just, outside of the Dabo Samuels, they just don't have the playmakers on offense, despite the fact that they have Jake Bentley at quarterback, one of the best quarterbacks. You still got to have playmakers. Without Marvin Harrison, Edgerrin James, Peyton Manning would have been nothing without Reggie Wayne and Dallas Clark. You got to have playmakers. He don't have them. Drew Lock does. I like Missouri in a high-scoring game here, Kip.
Should be very entertaining. All right, maybe the other game of the day in the SEC, and a lot of folks didn't see this coming. The LSU Tigers, Coach O, the Cookie Monster, on the road again. LSU plays a pretty demanding schedule. They are at Florida to play the Gators in the Swamp. The Gators coming off the successful 2-game road trip where they smashed the Volunteers and then broke the hearts of everybody in Starkville.
Well, the most beautiful woman in the world, though, 10, she's like a 20. My wife loves LSU in this game. She said LSU is one of my favorite picks. And my wife, despite being beautiful, she is a genius on this stuff. Picks better than me all the time, Kip. And I'm good, ladies and gentlemen. This brain up here has an IQ of 2,800 when it comes to football. I'm good.
2,800, wow.
Better. Take LSU, give up the points here. I like Florida, I like what happened last week. I like LSU's defense more. I like LSU in this game to win right here, Kip.
Oh, boy, we're on different sides.
Different sides. That's what makes us great, baby.
You know, and maybe I base too much of my prognosis sometimes on historical precedent, but I still look at this LSU team, and they still seem like disorganized to me. They've got great athletes. Both these teams, Florida's defense has really come on. I think this is going to be a old-time term, a slobber knocker.
Absolutely.
Both these teams are going to just beat the you-know-what out of each other, and I think it's going to come down to a late field goal, and I just like the fact that they're at home. LSU already winning at Auburn. I think it's a lot to ask for them to go on the road, and they also have Georgia next week in Baton Rouge, so it doesn't get any easier for the Tigers.
No, it doesn't get any easier for LSU, and LSU is going to define their seasons right here in the next 2 weeks. We're going to know who LSU is. But I love Greedy Williams. I love this defense. I like what Florida has on defense, but neither one of these offenses just jump off the page at you. I think LSU's a little better on special team. Not really a game that I would bet, but my wife loves it, so take it. But I think it's like a 19-17 game, but I think LSU gets it done.
Well, it's going to be a great one. So much great action in the SEC this week. we shall see how it all plays out. We'll have a lot better idea next week who the survivors are, I guess you can say, because some of the teams that lose in these key matchups this week are going to be in kind of big trouble. We'll be back with our selections. The pressure's on, and that's when I want the ball when the pressure's on. Force the turnover. Kip and the Legend back after this.